Hello and welcome to my channel. Today is gonna be another video about robotic actuator and robotic arms. So in today's video I'm gonna use this huge brushless motor. It has a higher air gap, and that's why this motor is very interesting, because it has a quite high torque with a low RPM. The name of this motor is Multistar 9235-100, and this is parameters of this motor. It can handle the maximum current of 57 amps. It has kV 100 RPM per voltage and the maximum power of almost 3000 watts. I'm gonna use this motor in the OpenTorque Actuator. This actuator was not designed by me, it was designed by another guy. Here is the reference to this project and to this guy. And what I like about this actuator, that this is so-called quasi-direct drive actuator. It means that this actuator uses a low reduction ratio, usually it's less than 10, and thanks to the high air gap motor, this actuator can produce a quite interesting and significant torque for the robotic arm application. Today we're gonna build this actuator and test how it's useful for the robotic arms. Let's get started. Here there is main parts which I would need, and these parts are 3D printed. It's 3D printed on my Prusa i3 Max III with the Prusa Ment orange PETG. I modified the original design slightly, just a little bit, in order to implement the embedded nuts instead of inserts which was used in the original design. Why I did this, it's just because I don't have these inserts but I have nuts. I also made two other modifications. First of all, gears, I adopted them for these bearings. This is 2115 and 4 mm wide bearings. And original design, I think it was developed for another printer and not for the Prusa, because I 3D printed everything, all this in the Prusa printer, and Prusa printer has very tight tolerances. And so in this one, you see, this is original one. In this one, these gears, they have a lot of play. I make each tooth a little bit larger. And so this is what I have, and you see that now the play is way smaller. So this is the original design, and you see that there is quite significant play. So I increased the size of each tooth on each gears, and this is the new design, which I think better adopted for the Prusa printer. And it does have a play, but this play is much lower than the original one. And we can start assembly with the gears, these bearings, and planet holder. So embedded nuts goes here. This gear goes on the motor, and this is back plate for the motor. I can already say that it's back drivable. It's definitely back drivable. Ooh, I forgot to put embedded nuts to hold this one. And now I need to take care of this bearing, and this bearing goes, basically it goes here. Let's now install the bearing. Oh, it's so greasy. It rotates very smoothly. Okay. So this one goes inside. Very loose fit. I think I will reprint this piece. And here it's very tight fit. So I will reprint this piece and make it a little bit larger for the better fit. So I changed this piece, I reprinted it, so I increased this diameter, so now it should be better fit for the bearing. And you see this is too loose. This one away, and let's see. Okay, it's quite good fit. Yeah, nice. And this one will go over here. Now I just need to put all the embedded nuts and fix everything with the bolts. Probably I need to put some lubrication in it. I'll do this. I did some soldering and I put the proper connectors on the motor. I also attach the cable to the encoder, and this is the encoder which we're gonna use. It's AC5047P. It's magnetic encoder, and in the package for this encoder there is also a small magnet. And this is the piece to hold this magnet on the motor, and this is the piece to hold the encoder. So now we need to mount these last pieces. First of all, this small magnet, it goes inside this piece in the middle, just a press fit, and now it goes here. The encoder we're gonna attach with the screws. And now this encoder holder goes here with these 3 bolts. And now the reducer is fully assembled. So here is an encoder. I also add a zip tie to hold the cable. And it looks quite nice. Now I need to connect all these cables to ODrive and see how it works. So this is my ODrive, and I need to connect the motor. Motor is connected. And also I need to connect encoder, and this is the new cable for the new encoder, and this is the old cable from the old encoder. I will leave the old cable in place, and I will just put the new connector to the proper connector. Okay, ground is on the ground, and 3.3 volts on the 3.3 volts. Cool, so this is connected, and now I need to connect the ODrive to the Raspberry Pi. And this motor does not, you see it wobbles. So I will put it on something where it's not gonna wobble, or it's not gonna make a lot of sound. Now I need to connect the Raspberry Pi. And I need to connect microphone to Raspberry Pi. And now we have our reducer, Raspberry Pi with a microphone, and ODrive. In order to use ODrive with this motor and this encoder, basically 2 things should be set. First of all, we need to set how many steps this encoder has for one revolution, and we need to set how many magnetic poles there is in this motor. So we need to set the value for the motor, the number of pole pairs, and the value for the encoder, the number of the steps per revolution. You can do this either through the ODrive tool, the classic way. For this you need to use these commands. It's quite simple. It's one command to set the pole pairs, another command to set the number of the steps per revolution for the encoder, and afterwards you use what you usually do with the ODrive. And the second way is to use the Google Assistant, as I did last time. And for this you need to change the hot word py file, and there is only 2 additional lines, and they are on the screen now. So I already changed it in the Raspberry Pi. So first of all, I need to activate the environment. Second, I need to go to the folder. We're in the folder, and now I need to run hot word py. But before doing this, I need to switch on the ODrive. So ODrive is on. Probably you can hear the noise of the ventilator. And now let's launch Google Assistant with this hot word py file. Okay, this is calibration sequence. Great, calibration is done. Hey Google, set the speed limit at 21. Hey Google, set the position at 10. Oh, nice. Hey Google, set the position at 0. Hey Google, set the position at 100. Looks great. Hey Google, set the position at 0. Hey Google, set the speed limit at 31. Hey Google, set the position at 10. Hey Google, set the position at 0. Hey Google, set the position at 100. Hey Google, set the position at 0. Great. So it means the motor works, reducer works, and also the encoder works. Perfect. Great result. Hey Google, set the position at 100. Hey Google, set the position at 0. The motor is cold. This is good. Maybe you can see a little bit the motor through this hole. Hey Google, set the position at 10. Hey Google, set the position at 0. Hey Google, set the position at 10. Hey Google, set the position at 0. Hey Google, set the position at 10. Hey Google, set the position at 0. Assembled actuator. It looks pretty good. And for the moment it works also pretty good. I like it. And at least by hand, I don't see much play. So it's very promising. Don't miss the next video. Thank you for watching this video till the end. Next time we're going to take this reducer and test it to see how applicable it is for the robotic arm. So we're gonna look at the torque which it can produce without overheating, and also we're gonna see if it has significant play or backlash. If you're new to my channel, please consider to subscribe to my channel, and also I would like to say a huge thank you to my patrons. Thanks to them I build this, and thanks to them I will continue building the projects like this one. If you would like to support me, please consider to support me through my Patreon page or via PayPal. Also, don't forget to share and like this video. Here are the names of my patrons, and see you next time.